I first met Ron and Russell in 2015. I was in Los Angeles, and having been a fan for a long time, and so you become like an evangelist, and pretty much everybody within earshot you try and turn on to Sparks. And I was doing exactly that with a friend of mine whilst I was writing my last movie, Baby Driver. We were listening to like a lot of Sparks, and I happened to think, oh, I wonder if Sparks are on Twitter. So I looked on Twitter and it said, Sparks follows you. And having followed the band for decades, this was really like a big deal to me. So I immediately direct messaged and said, hey, is this actually the band? I'm such a big fan. And Russell replied and said, yes, this is Russell. We're big fans of your films too.
And even before we met Edgar, I mean, we were familiar with all his films. So, you know, his films are personal and have a real sensibility to them. So we kind of felt that we knew Edgar even before we knew Edgar.
So then within like 48 hours, I was having breakfast with Ron Russell in Los Angeles. It was sort of amazing to me, having sort of thought of them as like rock stars, maybe from a completely different planet, to discover that they were only 25 minutes drive away. So
Edgar and his team came around with us initially to shoot Sparks in various places around the world. So it was really not only fun, but it was just great for them to be able to capture us in different settings. So initially our very first thing we did was initially we did a concert in London that Edgar and his whole amazing team shot for portions of the documentary. But what was really fun for us was to have Edgar come and kind of see us in Sparks in different settings. So he came with us to Tokyo, shot us there for several days. It was an amazing experience. And then Mexico City and Los Angeles, and then more in London. And so it was really, really great for us to have them be a part of the thing, kind of be the fly on the wall in those various settings.
And that was the start of a beautiful friendship. And now, like sort of 6 years later, we have a movie.
As far as the interviews that they did for the documentary, which there's over 80 interviews, which is kind of astounding in its own right. But Ron and I tended to not take part in those shoots because we kind of felt it would put everybody more at ease, and probably Edgar thought the same, but put all the interviewees more at ease, not having to give their testimonies about the band in front of us, sitting there staring at them. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think? And I think part of that, the way that they all come across, and with Edgar personally interviewing everybody came across so well and seemingly relaxed in that process.
Throughout all the years that I've been making music, if you get on a tour bus with a bunch of musicians, eventually the conversation will go to Sparks.
I remember just seeing them all the time, like, who are those guys?
They are a band who you can look up on Wikipedia and know nothing.
We are Sparks.
Dude.
Please welcome Sparks! Sparks!
Frequently asked questions about Sparks. How many albums are there?
25 albums.
Are you brothers?
We are brothers.
How did you first meet?
We are brothers.
Music at its best, you hear it and you go, oh my God, what is that?
It's insane, but it's fantastic.
Each time you'd go to the rehearsal, there'd be something new there. Like, that's good.
It wasn't like anything else.
All pop music is rearranged Sparks. That's the truth.
There are throwaway riffs that other bands have built whole careers out of.
One of my favorite moments is John Lennon ringing up Ringo Starr.
You won't believe what's on the television.
It was the sound of the future.
Sparks is way more prolific than all of the artists we consider to be the greatest in the world.
They sort of set a template that a Beatle would pretend to be Ron. That's amazing.
They were taking all their creative juices and putting it into something that they loved.
They were a bit much for most people.
The culture just wasn't there yet.
Is there anybody out there at all right now?
They've reinvented themselves several times.
The thing that marked them was their unwillingness to give up.
That sounds like the scene from our biopic.
All that we've done.
Our time has come.
Here we are.
They may have given birth to other bands who don't even know that the lineage goes back to them.
Still are waiting to get paid back for that.
Why have you resisted doing a documentary until now?
We didn't want to do the standard documentary full of talking heads.
It would become too dry.